Do.
Okay, let me just check. I think I have the new link. We need to use the new link. New link. Let me just send you the new link first and then I'll send it in the chat.
Ah, okay.
Is the new link working?
I don't know. I do.
Okay, it's back.
Yes.
It's back. Oh, thank goodness. RIP my internet. Guys, take it easy on the chat. My poor potato of internet connection here doesn't, yeah, JKS is too famous for this. I cannot connect. Okay, just give we give a minute for the people who were there who were like whipsawed out of this thing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Weep Psycho, you asked the question. Retype it in here. I think I missed it because I've closed the old YouTube thing.
Okay, I think Weep Psycho was asking, do the hate reviews get to you at all? And then we were doing it halfway, and then the thing just poofed.
Yeah, I was just saying with do the hate reviews get to you? Like the short answer is yes. The reason why, because if you have one hate review, that's if you have 1 out of 100, that's 1%. If you get 1,000 reviews, then 1% is now 100 hate reviews, and you're reading 100 hate reviews compared to one hate review. To answer that.
Do you delete hate reviews? Just curious.
No, I don't delete hate reviews. What I do is I do delete either reviews that what's the either have swearing in it or to me just don't make sense. So like some reviews, it seems like because like if you go into my story, you can see there's 1-star reviews, and some of them just seem like they haven't uh, read anything. So I'm just like, I don't know if this is a troll or stuff like that. But I do it less now, to be honest. Like I think at the beginning I used to do it because it used to hurt me more. But now that I've read so much, it's like, oh, okay, don't matter.
Ordinary day, just another day, just a terrible day. Yeah, so Weep Psycho's like, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with the hate?
I don't think you can. I don't think I can. I mean, the only way to deal with it is to ignore it, and then how do you like some days it really gets to me, right? And those days are when I literally can't write. So if some people notice, I've said multiple times I don't read the comments in my web novel in the web novel story anymore, and it's because I was getting so much hate, and it would just ruin my whole day. It would just like so I couldn't. So now I just have to, for the sake of my mental health, I have to not read comments.
Okay, I mean, like, yeah, maybe not everybody is like me, tough on the inside and stuff like that. Like, I find it very amusing when people send hate my way. I kind of like it. Okay, so maybe it's like, you give too much fucks to everyone who doesn't deserve it. Like, maybe you're at that stage. The title and the description of my stream is rude. What? Oh my god, tell me these things earlier. Fuck.
Yeah, late night.
No.
All of that. I read that. I just thought I was.
I will change this. Okay, next slide. Moving on. Okay, unspoken writer struggles. Please elaborate.
Oh, what? While you're doing? Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what was? Sorry, what was the?
Unspoken writer
No. The
struggles.
name of the YouTube thing is Late Night Writing Stream Ball of Nothing.
Yeah, no, wait. I'm going to change it like now. Give me a minute, people. Give me a fucking minute, people. Oops.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
did you
Am I
disconnect?
back?
Yes, you're back. Yes, you're
Oh,
back.
I was saying the name of the YouTube video is um late night writing stream ball of nothing.
Wait. No. This is my default. Why is this my default? Oh my god. Okay, wait. Let me change this. Like now. Okay. So maybe you will want to talk a little bit about the unspoken writer struggles while I fix this.
So the comments is really the comments is really difficult. Trying to, I guess, in the end, when you do something drastic, trying to please everyone is hard. And like when you have to kill a certain character, when you um, when you have to make a decision, like there's so many. I'll give you an example with romance stories. There's so many ships, right? And even in my story, there's a lot of ships. And when you when you make a decision at the end of the day you're going to displease some people or some people won't agree with that and um and you know you do try to please everyone. It's not, it's weird to see, and when people are upset they tend to comment more. If people like something they don't really comment, but if someone's upset they write more. So you you see more of the negative and you're thinking, oh crap, did I really do the right thing? um so I guess, and I think that's unique to web novel, because usually when you write a book you've already um you've already written the whole book. It doesn't matter, you can't change it, right? And when you see comments you're doing it based on um you can read comments and reactions of every chapter.
Yeah, okay. So just a brief guide. You are currently like the top author. How many comments and whatnots do you get on like a 1 day thing if you don't check and you come back?
I think about 800.
Nobody got time for that.
But I used to read every single I used to read every single comment, and like I said, and I think this, like, you really, like, you know, before when I used to follow YouTubers and they used to once in a while they'll do a video where they just said, "Oh, I can't cope anymore, I can't," and you're like, don't, you know, I was like, I don't understand. You're doing YouTube for a living. You're like, you've got the best job in the world. How, you know? And now I can relate to them a lot. And same with celebrities. Like I can't imagine celebrities um with a public face, like how much hate they get just because they're celebrities. It's like they're just making music, or they're just doing films for the people they enjoy, and they get all this hate for no reason. Like you don't even know them in real life. So yeah.
Has anyone actually went up to you like, "Oh my god, it's JKS. Can I rub your handshake?" And anything like that happen?
Well, good thing. No, no. So there's two good things, right? There's two good things about being an author. One, you don't have a public face, right? Even the most famous authors, like, I'll be honest, I know who J.K. Rowling, Stephen King is. I don't know what they look like. I think I know a little bit of what J.K. Rowling looks like, but if I saw them pass in the street, I wouldn't know who they look like. And they are without a doubt like some of the most famous authors. Um, so me, definitely, no one's going to recognize me as I walk down the street. And third, if you ever tell someone you're an author, if you're not J.K. Rowling or Stephen King, they think you're poor and a nobody.
That is so
So
true.
yeah.
Oh my god. Yes, definitely. Oh my god. Imagine, like, I have lost count of the number of times I tell people here that I am an author. And then after that, they're like, "Oh, so you make a lot of money." I'm like, "I'm not JK Rowling. I have to clarify." So I changed my introduction. I am a broke author. Solves the problem.
Well, I see. I have the opposite problem. If I say I'm he's just, they're like, oh, he's just getting by. He's probably struggling to pay his bills. He's probably, because they never heard of my work. And especially then if you say, I feel like it was what web novels now is what YouTube used to be in the past. If someone said I was a YouTuber, they'd be like, oh, okay, so you just make YouTube videos. They don't really understand it. They don't know how much money you can make from it compared to TV stars. And I really think that that's what it kind of is like. It's like, oh, you write web novels, that doesn't, like, that can't be a huge thing, basically. So
That is now your job to make this known, okay? You are like the forefront runner of this new generation of e-literature, is what I will say.
hopefully. I mean, I think outside of web novel, the only thing attention was a story called Worm, which was like one of the first web novels that didn't have a platform. They just uploaded it to their website. But yeah, web novels in general is still niche, and hopefully it does. If it grows, it helps everyone, right? Well, everyone on web novel.
That's true. Okay, so Weeb Psycho TV comes with a question. Does your fan base help you get through the struggles?
Yes and no.
Depends.
The fan base is sometimes
toxic.
Your worst. Yeah.
Depends. Like, okay, if you have a cult and they're cool and they're chill and all, it's great. But if you don't, and the people who claim to be your fans are just giving you 1-star reviews and be like, oh, this person is stupid. Oh, your grandma sucks. Oh, everything about you is shit. Oh, are they really fans? I think they are like anti-fans or anti-fans, whatever. But yeah, it's not the fan base that helps a writer get through. It's the people who support the writer that helps them get through. So anybody can claim to be a fan, but not everybody can claim to be a true supporter of the writer.
Yeah, I agree. Because like my fan base are the worst. Like if I upload 2 chapters instead of 3, I get hate. I get say, we pay for privilege, we pay for this. Why? It's my right to have 3 chapters. It's like I went to hospital today, and legit, that's what happens. They're like, oh yeah, but you go to hospital all the time. Yeah, I'm in hospital all the time. What do you want me to do? And like so the fan base is actually the worst. They don't help me get through the struggles. But when I do make those announcements, the people are like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, etc. So the supporters, like the most inspiring messages, I get like a Instagram DM like once a day from someone, and it will be like, oh, I read this during, most of them because of the lockdown thing, right? They're like, oh, you gave me something to read during lockdown, and those are the biggest like supportive messages.
Those are angels with no wings. Okay, with Psycho TV, when did you first start writing? When you first started writing, did you find yourself procrastinating on writing a chapter? I don't think so.
No, the first chapter, is the easiest. Yeah, you have so much drive and passion to write your story when you start a new one. That's all you want to do. Like you might be correcting it again and again, but that's your new idea, and you're writing it so easy. It's when you've been writing it for so long, it's hard to write the next chapter. I find
that's when the writer's block comes in and everything, and then you feel the pressure of keeping it up and maintaining this content quality and the expectations, and yeah, it's the going that gets tough. The climb to the top might be tough at first, but once you're at the top, it's actually staying there that's harder. Okay, so that brings us to the web novel success. So would you like to briefly, in one paragraph, give us an elevator pitch on how this thing actually worked? Like how it was for you, how it felt for you?
it was so unexpected. Changed my life. Like, yeah, changed my life so much. I can't even explain. Like, it feels unreal now. Like, I can't. I remember I remember just thinking if I could quit my job and write, that's fine. And now I have bigger dreams, right? I feel like I never ever imagined, or maybe I can make a game out of my story. Maybe I can make a thingy, and now that is possible. So it's like, yeah, so it's just changed my life basically.
It's like previously you were drinking instant coffee, and then once you're like, oh, I'm web novels #1, let's celebrate it with a $10 Starbucks kind of thing.
I mean, my spending habits have stayed exactly the same, but the bigger spending ones have changed. Like, like before I was like, oh, I'll be happy if I can buy a house, and now it's like, oh, I can buy a house, which house, right? And I feel like that always happens. It's like uh, when someone buys a car, you can buy a Honda Civic, you can buy a good car for normal money, but when you have money, you're like, oh, now which one do I get? But it doesn't matter. The car's still a car. Well, a decent car is still a car. So
Choices. It's choices. Right. That is actually very wise. So it's like you have all this money now, and apart from spending it, do you actually do anything else with this money?
no, I haven't. I haven't.
Investment.
Yeah, I've invested. I've I lost them a lot of money on stocks recently,
You shouldn't.
but
Oh my god, finance person telling you, please don't. Not at this period. It's crazy.
yeah. But yeah. So I lost a lot of not a lot of money. Not well, sorry. No, it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to some people, but um,
You
but
can earn it
but
back next month.
I never it's one of those rules. You never put in you only put in what you can afford to lose, right?
Yes, yes.
So um yeah, so but money wise, I literally, because I live in China. China's such a cheap country to live in. Even when I was a school teacher, I could buy what I wanted. So it's the it's the same thing basically. It hasn't changed. Like nothing has changed. I can buy what I want. I still buy the cheapest stuff, um, apart from laptop because that's my job. So, but yeah.
Okay, so over here, Weep Psycho TV is asking, when do you feel like you were a successful author? Is it when you reach number one?
No. So originally when I joined webnovel, my goal was to get in top 50, and I did that with my dragon system. That got into top 50, and then I was like, I still didn't feel successful, right? Because back then, top 50, it wasn't enough to make a living. And I think the difference between, I think my PE teacher said this to me once. The difference between an amateur and pro is whether you can make a living off it. So if you if you become a pro athlete, it means you're making a living just off doing that. So as soon as I was just making a living off writing, that's when I felt like I was a successful author.
Okay, and then the Lady Rice is asking if you actually advertise any of your works, like outside web novel, in web novel. Like, was there a need to spread the word before it became a hit?
Spread the word, or
Spread,
spread my work.
yeah, spread your work. Like, read my novel. Like, go on forums, tell other authors, like Pupa does and stuff.
No, see, this is a lot of people thought I did this, but I never, like, literally, I just posted on web novel. I didn't do anything else with Vampire System or anything. I just put it on web novel. That's it.
Yeah, I kind of thought so because if you actually did more self promotion, you would have gotten way more Instagram follows and stuff like that, you know? You'd be on the same level as all your influencer friends. Because, like,
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
top author, you
exactly.
have very, very little, like, followers. Like, even Matsu has more followers than you do. I'm like, huh? She's not number
Yeah,
one.
I mean that's what I mean. Like someone like my friend who is um, my friend Brandon Chen. He's big on TikTok and Instagram,
Hmm.
and he doesn't believe, like, he does believe how much he can't believe it. Like he's like, I don't understand, and it's like, how come you can't get followers? And it's like, I don't know. I mention at the bottom of my novel to follow me on Instagram. And it's like, and I know how many readers I get, and I know how many people buy my chapters. So I know how many people have ignored that message to go follow me on Instagram. So yeah.
It wasn't there wasn't enough incentives for them to follow for some reason. But yeah, it's their loss. Definitely their loss because you post a lot of
Well, yeah. I mean, you find if you don't, because web novel doesn't have any clickable links.
Mm-mm.
There's no, if you ever have to, and you learn this from websites, if you ever have to make something one more click, less people will do it, and
Definitely.
that's the problem. There's just no way for them.
Definitely, which is why I gave up as well. So okay, who was asking about the house? Okay, Flying Dolphin was asking because you said you bought houses when you had money, and then they were asking how expensive are these houses. Well, I'm pretty sure it's like I don't know, like would you like to give them like a number, or is that like private?
uh it's fine. I mean, houses in the UK, they are about, like, the areas I'm looking at are like £1 million plus. um but yeah, like like I said, like those are expensive in England. I might, because I don't know how long web novel will be. um like I don't know if web novel, like I don't know if my next hit after web novel will be as big as Vampire System. So money isn't stable, right?
Mm.
For author, this is the problem. When you're working as an author, money isn't stable. So I need to use that money somehow to I want to use that money somehow, so I have a passive income, so then I can carry on writing novels without worrying if it's going to be a big hit or not.
Mm. Which is the correct thing to do. Okay, from financial person, like financial student, that is the right thing to do. It's called financial freedom. It's called living within your means or even below it, so that you have access, and then you live a satisfied life, simple life. It's not like, you have money, you win from the lottery, and then you buy a Lamborghini, and then, the next thing you know, you're in debt all over again because you don't know how to manage it. That's the most
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Someone gave me advice, like, you should be able to buy it 3 times if you're thinking of buying it. So if you've got $250,000, don't buy a Lamborghini unless you can buy it 3 times. So if you have $750,000 in the bank, then you can buy the Lamborghini. So don't go broke trying to look rich.
Yeah, that is a very true advice. Right, so some of the post success struggles, do you want to share with us what you went through? Like, I know you talk a lot about how much you can afford now and stuff like that, but does this actually affect your life negatively? Because I know of people, not me, who are traders, and they came from nothing and then they made their millions, and then suddenly all the friends who never talked to them before started coming back. Does this happen for you?
Not really. I only, my close friends, like, quite small anyway. I would say what's a struggle is, like, people forget how hard you did at the beginning, and it's hard because I was working full time. I was a full time teacher, and I also wrote the novels at the same time. And people always use this as an excuse, right? They say, "Oh, I'm working full time," or I'm in school, I'm at university." It's like, they go, "You can do it because you're a full time author." It was like, I was doing the same thing when I was a full time teacher. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I wrote 2 chapters before going to work, and then when I came back from work, I wrote one more chapter. So I wrote 3 chapters a day on top of my full time work. So um, I don't. Yes, it can get in the way, but and that is a struggle that people forget about. It's like, it's a struggle that I went through because I could see the goal at the end of the tunnel.
Mm. Yeah, so it's like your struggles have paid off. Congratulations. Okay, I'm gonna start filtering stuff from the chat, okay? Anything that is not related to JKS and his behind the success theme of this interview, I will deny. This is not personal. This is just for the sake of a better experience. I want all my guests to appear here to be treated like royalties. He is not your answering machine, okay? Right? So, the next one, this is a quote I just got. So I don't know. You probably not like you don't know this guy, but this guy wrote one of the best books that I like. So a great pleasure in life is to do what they said you can't. Is there anything that people told you you can't do and you've proven them wrong at this point in your life with your success?
Probably writing a book. I mean, the main thing, I was horrible at English at school, like horrible. Um, I can't spell well. I can't spell well at all. Everyone knows I can't. And there were 2 things that people thought I would never be. One was being a teacher because I dislike kids,
What?
and two, and I want kids. I just dislike kids. Like, I want my own kids. I dislike kids. And two was yeah, to be a writer because my spelling's horrible. And I'm glad web novel, you don't need perfect spelling, you don't need grammar, you just need the idea, and the concept is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. That is the one thing that a lot of seasoned and avid readers of paperback and like common ones, they're like, oh my god, the quality is trash. Yeah, that's where you get those things coming in. But I mean, this is where everybody has to start. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was a shitty writer 10 years ago. I started writing fan fictions, fan fucking fictions. Okay, the community there is like super super toxic, worse than web novel. You can write anything you want, but you get like equal returns of hate for the kind of trash you put up. Web novel, in comparison, is way more lax with it. It's like walking on a street that has paved roads, like it's path and everything, and compare it to back then when I did it, it's like you run on glass barefooted. That was
I can imagine, because with fanfics they already have a base, they already have an idea, so it makes sense that whatever you do with these characters or interact with these characters, because usually fanfics, right, they bring in their own character into that world,
I hate
and
those.
then they're like, well, how could this person be, the other character? Like, no, no way, because they love those characters. So the fanfics that I would only probably read is if it was continuing on the story, or
Hmm.
like you said, exploring a different part, right? uh but yeah.
Hmm. Right, so it's like yeah. Compared to that, web novel is much friendlier to writers who just wanna start the writing journey. Like everybody has to start somewhere. Even the most popular singer starts learning how to project their voices and starts being off key and stuff like that. You gotta start somewhere, and nobody starts out perfect. That's just it. Okay. So Whip Psycho TV, do you mentor other authors? I don't think he has the time to do that, and he himself claims he's an amateur author, so he doesn't have the confidence to do it either because he himself said he can't spell. So yeah.
On that note, though, I do a bi-weekly lesson for everyone. So I work with a I partly own a company called Shrine Comics,
Mm,
and every 2 weeks I do a writing lesson. Now, the writing lesson is based off comics and web novels, because I get asked the same questions again and again, and how are you successful and stuff like that. And I know what does well for web novel, so I can mentor in that way,
mm,
right? I can mentor in plot. But if you're telling me how to write certain things, like I didn't know what a foil character was, right? And then someone explained to me what a foil character was. And I was
mm,
like, I have to look up these things. So I do these techniques kind of without realizing them.
mm,
And
mm,
sometimes that's simpler to explain to people who've never written before. If I start talking about foil characters and no one knows what that means, then but it's a lot easier if I talk about if I say, oh, it's a character that you kind of see what this person would have become, you know.
Okay, so that answers your question. Right, so I have a little bit of a meme on this. So it's shadows behind the success, what other people see, what I see, and the reality. So what is the most relatable to your success behind the scenes?
Well, I can't see the meme pictures. Do you know what they
Okay.
are? Do you want to send them to me on Discord?
Yeah, let me just send a screenshot.
Oh, wait, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it now.
Okay.
I just skipped to the end.
Ah!
um, I'm I'm the middle. I'm middle. I'm always on my laptop, no matter what. Uh, I'm quite busy these days. I'm really busy. Like I just got married. I have family over. I have things like that, and I think the problem is, especially with web novels, is your family doesn't understand. And the way I'll explain this is, if you used to play games, you used to be able to pause them, right? And that was fine. And then online games came out, and then your parents would be like, "Oh, dinner's ready. Can you pause the game?" And you're like, "I can't pause the game. It's online." And your parents don't understand that. You're like, I can't pause the game. They're like, just pause it and come dinner. It's like, no, I can't. And it's the same with writing web novels. I try explain like I have to write every day, and they're like, um, I don't understand why you have to write every day. They just don't understand that.
I can relate. Only the people who are doing this will understand. It's a think of it as cultivation, okay? For non-writers, think of this as cultivation. You it come back after Netflix. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? Once you start, there's no end. You need to finish it or you die. That's it. Okay, so Weep Cycle TV is asking, do you see yourself writing for a long time, 5 to 10 years down the line?
Wait, I'm just gonna.
Hmm. Did I die again? Oh no! Ta-da. Testing, does it work again? Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I almost lost it.
Test.
Yes, it works. I almost lost you. Is my stream still ongoing? Yes. Okay. Okay, it works. Okay. It works, people. It works. Relax. We got this. Testing. Okay, my stream. Is my stream online? Can the chat hear me? Please respond. I'm still here.
Hello. Okay,
Yes.
I'm back. I'm alive.
So it's your side. Okay.
Okay. So is it working now? It's working.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So Psycho's question: do you see yourself writing? I would love to. Like if I can just like right now, it's a bit much, honestly. Like writing 3 to 4 chapters a day is very hard work, and I have to sacrifice my free time. Like if someone asks me, "Can you go out?" I have to say I can't. I have to write. I sacrifice so much of my life at the moment, but the way I see it is, I'm sacrificing my life now so I can relax more in the future. So the dream is if I could write, um, if I could only like, if I only had to write 1 chapter a day, right? That would be the dream. Just relax writing. Like I don't have to feel the pressure.
Mm. That is the dream. So, okay, so while you're experiencing this success, I find that you're a little bit overwhelmed. How do you cope with this success? So, over here, it's a mini pie chart made by yours truly. A very Destiny Aitsuji guess on how you would spend your time. So, 8.3% of the time eating, 33% of the time sleeping, 25% of the time writing, 8% for your wife, and 25% just JKS things.
If it wasn't now, so like at the moment, I spend a lot of time with my wife at the moment. But usually, before in the past, it was like 1%. Um, and the writing would be, I mean, I guess writing was like, what, 6 hours a day or 7 hours a day. Um, but these days, I call it relaxing time. There's a lot of time, like, I can't. So a chapter takes me about an hour to write. If you're writing 4 chapters, um, you will it'll take me 4 hours to write, but I can't just write 4 chapters in one go. I have to write 1 chapter, take a break, watch some YouTube videos, then write another chapter. So it takes longer than 4 hours to write.
Mm.
Um, but most of my life is writing and gym.
And Jim, do you have six packs?
I used to, but then I when I got invited to Shanghai, they was feeding me, and then COVID happened and everything. So.
Okay, okay. Flying dolphins like wife reveal. I think there
Mm-hmm.
is a picture out there somewhere, but yeah, we're not gonna do that now. So yeah, you can dig the internet for that. There's definitely a wife review somewhere. Pretty sure it's on the interview. Check Web Novel's Facebook page. Right. So what Weep Cycle TV is like? How long do you take to plan things out for your novel? Not writing, but like planning arcs and whatnot, or do you just write what comes to? He plans, definitely plans.
Yeah, so like I said, I planned my arcs first. Takes 1 day, do the 8 arcs, and then another day was spent just doing all the chapters. So like just writing all the chapters for that arc, just small paragraphs. I mean, literally like one sentence. This is what happens in this chapter. This is what happens in this chapter, and then do all that.
Mm. So yeah, essentially plotting doesn't have to take a long time. So most of the time is actually just getting those ideas that he already had out into chapters. Does that answer? Okay. So okay, next slide is another quote by William Arthur Watt, is a writer. So I don't know this guy, but anyway, so he says feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So definitely this journey has been a long and pretty tough one for someone like yourself. Um, is there anyone in particular that you met along the way and really want to thank them? Like this is life anyway, so you can give it to them. Like this is my sincere thanks.
I think the only person that helped me at the beginning on web novel side of things was sorry, two people. Two people are the only one that helped me. One was an author called Motivated Sloth.
Mm.
Um, he helped out a lot of beginners, and when I was a beginner, I didn't know you could get a contract for web novel. I was just writing for the fan base. I was just writing for a fan base. So he was the one who told me you could get contracts. So that's when I found out you could get paid, right? And then the other author is Eve of Chaos, who writes Demonic of the Sword God, Birth of the Demonic Sword God.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I got into contracted, he was the first person I wrote to, and that was when I learned that you can make, because Sloth doesn't earn that much on web novel, and Eve is one of the top authors, and that was when I learned, oh, you can make a living off this. So he was the one who pushed me to just go into web novels, because I found out you could make a living off writing web novels. It's still, I just want to make everyone aware out there, it's still a small number compared to people. Like I would say, like maybe 60 people or 70. I don't know. What do you think that make a living off web novel?
I Yeah, I think you're asking the wrong person because I can definitely say been here for 2 years and not making a living out of it. So I don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to tell, right? Because we don't get an idea. I mean, we have an idea of everyone's income on web novel. We don't know everyone's income on web novel, and especially on the female side, it's really messed up compared to. For some reason, on web novel, the male stories are more stable,
Mm.
and female is kind of like all over the place.
That's because of all the things like Fiku and stuff that I heard. But I'm a male author with boobs. I like to introduce myself as that. So I don't know about the female side of things in web novel. But still, I can represent the unheard voice of niche authors. But that's about it. So I can't say you can make a living out of web novel. Like maybe if you live in countries like India or Philippines where like the cost of living is not as high as Singapore, you could make
Yeah,
a living based on MGS alone.
I mean, that's why the number I gave is pretty high. If it was from like I won't say Western countries, because that doesn't make sense. People say Western countries, but like Japan and Singapore are very expensive countries, so it doesn't make sense to say Western countries. But it's more like if it was like a standard wage of like in the US, then I would say like only 15 authors are doing that.
Mm. So it's very skewed, and the income that web novel pays its authors are very skewed. Like if you are high in the rankings or something like that, you can be earning like 90% of the entire thing that web novel earns compared to all the other contracted authors, which gets like the remaining 10% split in between each other. That kind of thing. It could be this way, but
Yeah.
we won't know. Mm. All right. So any future plans for now? So you did say that you have one more system novel coming up, and then you're gonna move out of it. Future plans that you think your fans could look forward to following you?
Not
No.
so not that my fans can look forward to. So other than this, I'm making a story called I Level Up Zombie
Mm-hmm.
is the story I'm making. I also am in talks with making a webtoon original story, but it's not. That's still going through the contract stage, so it can fail. That's a system story as well, but it is not based off any of my books. It's a completely new system story, and I am also going to write, but not under my pen name, under a different pen name,
Mm.
a female lead story
Oh ho ho.
or romance story.
Oh ho ho. Okay. I will be looking forward to that. That sounds very interesting. But no, future plans. Like apart from your work, do you have any future plans for yourself? Like you are newly married. Any plans? You are still very young.
You know, yeah, I said that because like I'm 24,
Mm.
and it feels like I've done what I've wanted to do. I've gone to the countries I've wanted to go to. So other than buying a house after that, it's like, well, what do I do, right?
Mm.
And it the for me now, my goal is I want something that my dad can enjoy. So I want to work so hard that I can get a book into a TV series, because I know my my dad would watch a TV series. So I want to do something that my family can be proud of.
So screenwriting. It's a semi-screenwriting kind of thing.
Not even like it doesn't have to be screenwriting. I just want, or either make a book big enough that it gets bought,
Um.
license, you know. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I want to write a female lead story, because um, they're easier to make.
Hmm. Okay. Understood. So now this is a. ちょっと何? Okay. Right. So the JKS manga writing setup. So you said that you had a new writing setup. How does that work?
So I just have a big black desk. I have my laptop, and then to the right, I have a drawing tablet. The drawing tablet gets used as a second screen. It's mostly off because I usually have Discord up on it, and Discord's quite distracting if I want to just write.
Discord is distracting. Okay.
Discord is very distracting. I because I read everything. I read what people write and everything.
Oh, I thought you would. No, are you not a sprinter kind of writer? Do you not use Sprintboard?
I don't use Sprint, but I do. If I start writing, I don't stop until that chapter is done.
Mm.
But to start writing, like I'm my brain is a bit weird. I have to start writing on the hour, so I won't start writing a chapter until it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then what happens is, if I'm on Discord and it's gone like 15 past 4, I'm like, then I have to wait till 5 until I write.
Okay, this is a quirk. This is a quirk that I now know. Right, so the JKS manga working style is working by the hour on the clock. Right, is is that a style?
No, I've just always been like that. Even I remember when at work I was my boss would be like, "Do you want to go on your lunch break now?" And I'd be like, I'd look at my watch and be like, "Oh, 3 minutes," because it wasn't on the hour. And then what had happened is a customer would come in, and then I would talk to the customer, and that would push it over the hour. And then he said, "Oh, do you want to go on your lunch break now?" And I goes, "I gotta wait until the next hour." So
Okay, this is very interesting. Wow. Does it not affect your current situation with your real life, your wife and everything? Like for example, she says, "Oh, we need to go grab groceries now," and then you're like, "Oh, let's wait for the hour to set off."
Not for that, not for that. It's only for writing. So um like I'm not like that, like, oh, let's go at this time. I mean for gym, I go to the gym with my wife. It is like that. It's like, oh, let's go at 2 o'clock. Or she'll go, oh, I thought you were gonna write, and I goes, yeah, I'm gonna write at 4 o'clock, not at half three. So,
Sorry, my brain is just like, oh, in situation, and then like the domestic anger starts coming in. Like, oh, that will be entertaining. I'm sorry.
for me, it's like it gives me an idea. It's like, so literally what will happen is I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start writing. I'll finish the first chapter by 1. I'll relax until 2. I'll finish another chapter till, and that's what I do.
I see. Okay, so like, I know a lot of writers, including myself, must have music when we write. So does it apply for you as well?
No, I write in complete silence. I cannot write with I cannot write with music. I cannot write with anything in the background. I have to just write my story.
Okay, so that answers your question, Weep Psycho. So, for Destiny Aitsuji, music is a must, but what kind of music really depends. Sometimes I listen to heavy metal, like Russian metal. Sometimes I listen to anime OSTs, and other times I just listen to rain falling for 10 hours on loop. I don't know why. Yeah. So yeah, that's two types of authors. Yes, Ken is correct. There are two types of authors. But the one thing I cannot listen to when I write is a language that I understand, which means English is out, Chinese is out, Japanese is out, and Korean is going to be out almost soon. Almost soon, because I can kind of understand Korean after watching a lot of variety shows. But yeah, anyways, I gotta find a new language to listen to. I'm running out of things to listen to, so that sucks. But yeah, so JKS and I are probably very, very opposite. Yeah, so music listeners and complete silence, you're right. That answers your question. Okay, so do you have like daily goals, targets, time sets or anything? Any quirky things for your working style that people don't know? Or you wish people
Not that
knew?
people don't, not that people don't know. They always see that I have like even now I've stopped updating it now, but I have like how many chapters I'm gonna do for the day on my Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and every every time I do a chapter, I update that, and that's to help me. And usually that is set higher than what I actually want, because like if my goal is 10 and I end up doing 6, then I've got 6 chapters. If my goal was set to 3, I might end up only doing 2. So like um yeah, so like usually the goal is set higher than what I can actually achieve.
Mm. So, Whip Psycho TV, your question should be answered. Are there days that you're able to write more chapters than a minimum for? Of course, there will be good days when you're like, hell yeah, nobody can stop me, not even God, and then you just write a whole word vomit. And there are other days when you're like, oh my god, my back hurts so much, I can't even sit on the chair. So, yeah, these
I
are.
think I've never had a backlog, right? Because this is what people ask me as well. Like, do you have
Mm,
a backlog? And I have to be like kind of pressured into writing these days. So I've never like if my daily if I'm meant to write 4 chapters a day, once I've written that, that's it. I'm not writing anymore. I do now like have to write. I'm gonna have to write 5 chapters today, tomorrow, and for a few days because I'm about to get eye surgery and I can't stay at a computer for 2 days. So um, yeah, I'm going to have to do a backlog so I can because I can't stay at a computer. So
mm. That is always good. Like having a stockpile is always good for like emergency situations whereby you can't write and then that's it and you are in the middle of something, especially if you're like JKS and then you don't want to get killed by the people who claim to be your fans. Yeah, that's something that you have to work with. So, okay, this is a picture of a tombstone. It's not your imagination. So, this is things I wish I knew. Like, when you first started out, what is the one thing or two things that you would tell your past self before you started writing rap novel?
um, first thing, the I guess uploading daily. is the main thing for web novels, especially. Uh, that really kills like I didn't know how because I didn't read web novels. I didn't know how important that was. And I was used to webtoons, and webtoons is one chapter a week, right?
Mm.
Um, but for web novels, it's very important, and I kind of missed the boat with my first book. I kind of missed the boat with that, but I did catch up with that later on. So I would say write a chapter a day. I also didn't I didn't plot out my story for the first one, just for the first bit, and then halfway through I decided to. Um, and that going with the flow sometimes can only take you so far, and that's how you get a lot of plot holes as well. Especially if you're writing like 800 or 1,000 chapters, you're not going to remember something that happened in chapter 200 you wrote 2 years ago. So
That is true. Like, you probably wouldn't imagine yourself writing that many chapters and then, like, oh, wait, I need to find that one thing that I wrote a few hundred chapters ago.
yeah. Oh, and I would say this thing that I still haven't done now, but I try to do, and I wish I do, is every time a character is introduced, I need to put that in a different folder or something with their description and their name,
Ah,
because when they reappear like 100 or 200 chapters later, I can't remember what they look like, and it's actually caused problems where someone's like, didn't he have black hair, not blonde hair? And I'm like, and it was my fault because I didn't note down what this character looked like,
mm,
or I've done it with names or birthdays. Like I said one time, someone's birthday was on the 25th, and then it got to the 28th. So a glossary and um, things like that need to I would keep on the side.
it's a character profile thing. So, yeah. Do
Yeah,
you use Scrivener?
I do,
Okay. Well, I think
but
they have.
my notes aren't organized.
I see. Okay, so we have a few questions before we end the stream soon. I think this is my last slide. Yeah, this is my last slide. So, um, where was it? Do you overthink when you are right or second guess a lot?
Um, I don't overthink. I think I've gone past that. I think at the beginning I did think like, did I do this right? Did I do this wrong? And I realized already that like if I already I'm like one rank one, right? And I didn't listen to those people. I had to make a decision. Should I listen to these people or not listen to them? And I chose not to. And then I became rank one. So I was thinking, well, if I'm rank one, then I'm doing something right. Um, and like, I think I used the example of like, if you had a best selling burger, like it sold the most, and then people complained saying, oh, I think you should change the sauce a little bit. Would you change it? Because you've already got the best selling burger. So why would you change it just because some people said they didn't like the sauce? So um, yeah, I don't anymore. I don't overthink about things, worry. I write for me. So I write a story that I would enjoy, and everything I write is what I like. And it happens that a lot of people like what I like.
Hmm. Very wise words. This is the kind of confidence that every writer should learn to have over time because, like, not everybody's gonna like what you create, and not everybody's gonna hate what you create. And the people who talk the most aren't usually the ones who reads the most. So that's something you gotta bear in mind. On that note, it's wow, this stream is what, 9, 10, 11, 10, 2 hours, 2 hours ish with like one crash. Two crashes. Oh, we made it this far. We made it this far, guys. I have 16 slides. I finally made it to the end of our 16 slides. So before we go, are there any questions from the people in chat that we can address? Otherwise, Jack might go into hibernation for a long time because he's a very busy person. And yeah, my channel is too small to invite him back again. Maybe in 5 years when YouTube recommends me and I grow.
I want to make on a separate note. I do want to make a. I always love watching YouTube. I do want to make a YouTube channel at some point.
Mm.
I just don't have enough hours in the day. I think that's like everyone. Right? I feel like everyone wants everyone wished they had one day was 48 hours long, because I'd love to do other things. But yeah.
That's the same, which is why people have insomnia and then we're like, oh, we only sleep 3 hours. We're productive the rest of the time. Okay, that's great for you. I used to be like this, but
Yeah, I can't. I get nosebleeds if I don't get enough sleep. So it's like,
that's bad. It will be even worse if you start your family, cause night feeding is a thing, and then you have your kids so young, and then your family, and yeah, you probably should start these YouTube channels sooner than later, if you really want it.
yeah. I can't. The thing is, I don't want it to in what I'm currently doing well right now. So,
Mm,
yeah. So what I'm doing, like, don't I what some people do when they're doing well is they try to do too much at once, and then that ruins what they had. So if I was like, oh, let's try get this a TV show, let's try get this thing, and then you forget about the book, you forget about what was successful.
mm.
Um, so yeah, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to forget about writing the book. I don't want, like, and it happens, like, well, when I was posting webtoon pictures of my vampire system, they were like, well, why aren't you writing the story? It's like, I am writing the story. I don't even draw the web. I don't draw the webtoon. Like it literally takes no time out of my day other than sending the artist a message saying, have you done it? Um, yeah, but then people still think, like, I don't know. I think that's the only thing. I think I'm lazy, and I I work so hard. So
Okay, sorry, just replying Weep Cycle on chat. Yeah, so it's good that you know what you're doing, you can balance yourself up and you're not taking out too much to your own plate. Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself by Weep Cycle. So Cow Jackie also says don't have any final questions, but they just want to thank you for all the work that you do and for getting them into web novels. So even if their wallet suffers, you seem like a super chill guy and they just want you to keep being you. I don't think you have a problem there.
no, that's good. It's just that, like, we wouldn't. Authors need fans and supporters, right? We couldn't do our job without you guys. So yeah, like, we appreciate. Trust me, like, if you guys have changed my life so much. If I could meet each person who bought my chapters, I would love to meet you guys and shake your hand. Well, maybe not shake your hand in the COVID situation, but you know.
You can shake virtual hands. Put it in chat now. He can shake all
Yeah.
your virtual hands.
But yeah, but yeah, I literally, like, I have so much appreciation for people buying my chapters. It feels, it's one of the reasons why I feel sad that web novel doesn't do physical books.
Mm.
Um, like, I think every author has complained about this. Physical book is more connection, more like you feel more real. You have something in your hand. Like, I love it. Like, I sell my vampire system posters, and I love it when they send me a photo. Then it feels real. So right now it doesn't feel real just writing chapters and seeing people comment. But when I see people, oh, they've got a poster or something I made, I'm like, oh, that's great.
All the handshakes are in the chat right now. Right, but I
Spreading.
yeah, spreading love, not spreading COVID. But yes, so I will agree. Like, physical copies are kind of important because it's not the same as a web fiction thing. Like, you can sign those things, and then you can send a piece of yourself along with this thing. It's a personal touch that really matters. It's just kind of like cold business and stuff. So yeah. Yes, Ken. We went through a lot of struggling to come to the end of this interview. It's not easy when my internet and you guys are trying to crash my stream with your chats. I do appreciate it. Like, I also appreciate that JKS responded to Voidy and he's like, yeah, but you, let's do this the interview. And I was like, oh my god, are you sure? Like, are you serious and stuff? So yeah.
Yeah, for guys, if you don't have Instagram, you should. I will Q&As and stuff, and there you can ask my vampire system questions.
Mm.
So definitely, Des has put it in the description of this. So, and if you don't have Instagram, don't worry, Cow Jackie. That's why that's why, because like obviously you have YouTube, so that's why I do want to make different platforms, but it's so hard to keep up with every single platform these days, like Facebook, Instagram, um, YouTube, web. We have webnovel on top of that. Hey Mitchell, and that's a friend in real life in the chat. So I just want
Mm?
and yeah, so it's hard to do all those things at once.
Right, just so you know, you will always be welcomed with a red carpet to my small channel. If you ever want to host anything with your readers and fans. Okay, wow, Cow
Yeah,
Jackie.
yeah, no, sorry, no, sorry, yeah, yeah. I was just no, of course. I like even though it's only a small amount of people, it's enjoyable to talk. It's more personal this way. If you ever do streams with uh, big people, you can't see the chat. The chat goes too fast that you don't even really get to answer questions, and it doesn't feel like they've answered or seen what you're looking at.
That's true. Unless you donate money to those chats and then have your message highlighted for 5 seconds before it disappears.
Yeah, definitely. Would you make a Twitter? No, I don't understand Twitter, man. I don't understand Twitter. I didn't understand Twitter 10 years ago. I don't understand Twitter now. So like I get people who are on Twitter are like hardcore followers, right?
Really?
But yeah, like if people follow you on Twitter, usually people who use Twitter use it all the time, so they keep you updated. But I I just yeah, I just I really have, I think Instagram, Discord, and maybe a YouTube channel if I had the time. Those are the three things I would make. Um, but that's probably about it.
Okay, any other questions, people? He's already got like 6 social media platforms to pay attention to. Adding more just adds to headache. Well, I mean, JKS, Jack, he can like, hire a social media manager for those kind of things, but it's less personal and he likes you guys so much that he's willing to do this by himself.
It's true. Like a lot of people say that, right? Like just hire someone, and it's same with the editor, right? Because I get a lot of questions like, I do have an editor, by the way, and people are like, why don't you hire an editor or better editor? And it ruins the flow. Like this is my own business, so it ruins the flow of, I want to do things my way, and it's really hard to do that. I mean, I might, the social media manager, I might get someone to do, but like, because the other thing I've been playing with the idea is like a ghostwriter, right? You have so many ideas. I can only write like so many stories, so why not get a ghostwriter to write?
Hmm.
Why are more people joining the thing towards the end?
Ah,
um, I would, yeah, I would, like, it would be nice to, I write Vampire System, I write something else. I just tell someone what I want in another story and they write it.
mm. I mean, if you're actually looking for someone like that for real, please remember me. Please remember Sanskar. Please remember Voidy. We're all the underwriters. I mean,
Yes, yeah.
most of us have probably ghost written for people at some point in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was so in need of money that I wrote a master thesis for someone. And I don't have a master's degree myself.
I think we all did. When I was doing art, to have to draw like hentai, because people who like that stuff paid, but other people didn't pay. So yeah.
That's true. So yeah, thanks for joining us all on stream, guys. So if you want to see JKS again, find him on Instagram. The link should be in my updated YouTube stream video description right now. So yeah, you don't have to go and copy and paste it. Just click it and freaking like it. Okay. Any other questions? He will take it up with you on Instagram or Discord or whichever. I don't have his Discord link. Do you want to give me your Discord so?
Is I don't even know how to my server.
Yes, your server, so that I can put it below this description so that people can actually click to join, because
Yeah.
these people are way too lazy to go to your book and actually copy it and actually find it. So yeah, I'm doing a favor right now.
Seconds.
Public service.
I put it in the chat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys can ask me web novel questions personally when I on Instagram. I do help new authors get asked all the time web novel questions, but we all do. I wish web novel did a Q&A, a good Q&A that's out there for the public that people could see. But yeah. All right.
Okay, that's all for tonight. Yes, it would be helpful, Cow Jackie, if you posted it here so that I can update this after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna start writing. That's probably gonna be another 2 or 3 hours. So.
Okay. Yeah, so in order to not hold you back from the hour, the auspicious hour of midnight, let's end the stream now. Thank you all for joining once again. This is Destiny Aitsuji, starring JKS Manga, aka Jack. Thank you for joining me on stream today. It was fun.
Yeah, it was nice speaking to you as well, Des.
Yay!